Did you play the IWA as a kid and never win a belt? Well, now's your chance. Feeling that midlife crisis creeping in? Don't have a ton of cash to blow? Want to go back to the 80s? Since 1985, the Imaginary Wrestling Association has been the #1 wrestling game in the universe. Forget these fly-by-night imitators, e-feds and booking simulators. The IWA has outlasted them all. It's 2025 and play-by-mail is here to stay. If you love wrestling, if you love creativity, if you've got the guts to step up to the challenge, then don't be a loser. Join today and become a champion. Go to playiwa.com right now. Once you start, you can't stop.
200 pounds from parts unknown. The Red D-Man. D-Man. His partner, 231 pounds from Thibodaux, Louisiana, Frogman LeBlanc. With a combined weight of 487 pounds from Muleshoe, Texas, the Texas Knights.
Richard Condon with the introduction of our grapplers in our opening bout here on 5-Star Wrestling. And it should be an interesting matchup. We've got the Red Demon and his tag partner, Frogman LeBlanc. They go up against the team, the Texas Knights, out of Muleshoe, Texas. Jack Howe, the referee. And we are about set for our opening match. Gary Killshaw handling the chores of ringing the bell, and this one is underway. Good arm drag takedown by one of the Knights. And again, working on LeBlanc. And that sends both LeBlanc and the Demon out of the ring. So the Texas Knights open up with some good movement on their part, sending their competition out of the ring. Tag team action here on 5-Star Wrestling. And an outstanding card. As we mentioned at the top of the show, we've got General Skandar Akbar and the Beast out of Devastation Incorporated as the Knights make the tag. And a beautiful flying drop kick with the cover and a 2 count with the Demon kicking out. Again, an arm drag takedown by the Knight as they continue to apply the pressure. Texas Knights have controlled this match since the opening of the bell. Demon backing his opponent into the corner, but the tag made. And the Knight coming off the ropes, applying the pressure again on that arm. Arm turning red already. Demon from parts unknown. Frogman LeBlanc, 235-pounder out of Thibodaux, Louisiana, his tag partner. But again, the Knights continue to apply the pressure and control the match. Now the Red Demon trying to get things his way. And a flying cross-body tackle, but the Demon kicks out. Demon with the hair pull, getting the tag with LeBlanc. One of the Knights in trouble. LeBlanc with those chops across the upper part of the chest. Oh, and a devastating clothesline. Puts the Knight on his back. Does manage the kick out, however. LeBlanc picking up the tempo for his team. Side headlock. Also on tonight's card, we will get a chance to hear from the Junkyard Dog. He will be at ringside, commenting about the troubles he has had with Nature Boy Buddy Landell. So that promises to be interesting as well. Tag made. Red Demon checking in for his squad. Demon continuing to apply the pressure. Demon with the chin lock on the Texas Knight. Crowd starting to get behind the Knights. Demon with the forearm to the side of the kidney and the rib area, slowing the momentum down of the Texas Knight. Tag again made with LeBlanc coming in.
And welcome back to the IWAR Network Tubecast. I'm your host, Alex G. And with me this evening, we have Matt, we have Scott, and we have Ryan. What's going on tonight, gentlemen?
We were just talking about Ric Flair shitting himself at bars.
Well, yeah, me too.
Here it is. I got it right here. Does Ric Flair keep coming to your restaurant and shitting himself? Question. Man, he shit himself like 6 times this year, drunk as F, at bars and other restaurants. He keeps getting thrown out of Water Street places all the time. Anybody in the service industry dealing with this shit too? And as someone who works in retail, I can tell you, people shit all over the place besides the toilet.
We have fitting rooms, buddy. I see that shit all the time.
One of my coworkers took his daughter to get suited for a bathing suit. Yeah. His daughter's like 9 or 10. Right. And she found a box. And let me see if I can find the picture here. Because he said to me, he's like, guess what my kid found in the dressing room? I was like, no effing way. He's like, oh, yeah. And it was this. A buzzy plug. A vibrating toy for backside play. And
sponsored by Pizza Booyah.
Somebody stole it. But, you know, I said they're going to return it to Trader Joe's. They return everything here. Well, yes, we're back on the Tubecast, and this is the 193rd. We're going to try to get it right this time.
Sometime. Yeah, we might.
Maybe. Get the Gatorade
so this
going,
is the summer cycle in review.
Oh, shit.
And I don't know where you guys are at, but it's 170 degrees in New York right now, and literally, it's like going outside is like just not a thing right now.
We had the hottest day in June ever in the Boston area, 102.
Like we have streets collapsing. It's insane.
Was that you?
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
a video of the car hitting the bump
Yeah.
and being like, I wanted to play the clip and be like, just the good old boys. Because I will tell you this, when I take a corner really fast, I do one of two things. I either go, ba ba dum ba 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 ba, or I go, just the good old boys. Because, I grew up in the 70s and 80s, and we're old now.
I seen a new Camaro. It's painted, but it's not the General Lee. It's the General Grant, and it's blue, and it has an American flag on it.
General Grant. Now they got to do. Now you can do a third one with flames, and it's General Sherman.
I'm more of a Stonewall Jackson guy myself. Okay,
you just drive into a wall. Speaking of that, in Boston today, somebody lost control of an elderly transport van and crashed into a house.
They all died.
No, they're all okay, but like those 14 old people are like, this is nice. Oh, DCL, me back play. My new wrestler. That's Derek. I think that's Derek. He's gonna tell us in a second. This is gonna be a fun show because I had no sleep, no nap today.
No nap.
Yeah, I was up late Tuesday. Well, Monday morning, I was up till 4. I think I put that in the commissioner's chat room. Then I got up and cranked out reports, trash talk. So my trash talk's all over the place. This second guy's gonna apologize. It's kind of shit. I'm like, oh.
You gotta do it early. I tell you guys all the time.
I know, and I got behind and then had some stuff happen, but I do have some good ideas, and I read Ryan's ACW pay-per-view, at least the stuff he told me about.
Not the stuff that I wrote.
Who the hell is Keanu Thunder?
Well, we needed
we're gonna find out. That no good son of a bitch. So do you want to start off with a Q&A?
Yeah. Let's see what JB has to talk about this cycle. I feel like that offended him this cycle again.
Nice.
So.
Well, that's okay. He offended us with the 27 drop.
I was gonna say, don't bring that. No one bring that up because it's gonna set off Matt Tourette's.
I'll never. I've said it before on the show, but if no one quit the game after the cycle with 329-26s, no one will ever leave over strat chain. It was not my radar at all. Anyways, this is IWA Q&A from Johnny B himself and Johnny B Jr. And if you have questions, suggestions, things you want to ask the IWA, you want to know about rules. So, for example, the first question, a little foreshadowing here, spoiler alert, on the workshop last Thursday, Michael tackled a question about the state wrestling, and he enraged Johnny B, and here's what he said. From Johnny B. Jr., regular Tubecast viewer, DCL asked for an explanation regarding the way we determine the winners of our annual state wrestling championships. Someone named Mike Cook, whoever the heck that is, tried and failed to answer the question correctly on the latest IWAR Goal Strategy Workshop. And my initial impression is he's a really bright guy, so it's painfully obvious I wasn't being clear enough when I presented the contest details. I shall now make another attempt. For starters, the total points of a wrestler's entire strategy, or of 14 or 13 or 12 holds, etc., never comes into play. Rather, the action progresses on a hold-by-hold basis. Each of the 50 available belts is assigned a certain hold order, with the 15 possible positions in an IWA strategy listed from most to least important. Let's consider the Idaho title, since it's so much fun to say.
Who's a hoe? Idaho.
Idaho, Idaho. Yes. I dated somebody who said that all the time. All right. Since it's the most significant hold position for Idaho was 10, which meant that the entrant with the highest valued hold in the 10th spot of the strategy was going to take the gold. NWO powerhouse G-Force Gary Morris had a 30-point hold there, but so did 5 other competitors. To break the tie, we moved on to the second hold position for the Idaho, which was 2. Gary had chosen another 30-point hold for himself and placed it in the second most important spot in his strategy, so things were looking good for him. Of all the wrestlers fighting for the right to represent Idaho, who had drawn with him in the previous step, only BRL's Agent 26 had also been armed with the top scoring hold strategy position, number 2. I paused for Alex to chuckle. He did not. So the
Kind
field
of
was
late for
narrowed
a poop
further.
joke.
Like to wipe yourself off and keep moving. But the battle wasn't over yet. The third hole position for Idaho was 14. And the 14th hole strategy for G-Force had formulated was worth 45 points.
God damn.
Agent 26 had a slightly weaker 14th hold, so he was no longer in contention, giving Gary the belt. In other words, the values of each entrance holds are compared one by one at the listed locations until a single combatant is left in the ring.
Yes.
The more perceptive among you may notice I stated that the point flow never enters into equation when it comes to contests that employ a hold order method of choosing winners. Yet the flyer for the 2025 State Wrestling Championship specifically mentioned that they would be used as a final tiebreaker if necessary. That is because while writing this response, I realized that if 2 wrestlers have identical values at all 15 positions, regardless of the way in which these positions are arranged, they also have identical point flow. Yes, I just came to what should have been an incredibly obvious realization. Sadly, I have been needlessly including that note about point flows in certain contest descriptions for decades. But it's not like it's super embarrassing or anything. Ugh. Thank you, DCL, for the opportunity to become cognizant. Sorry, I'm not tired. Become cognizant of this blunder of epic proportions. At least I can take comfort in knowledge that everyone routinely skips right over this segment of the broadcast, and I can strike it from Matt's memory by having him say the magic word, Carpenter.
There it is.
Slowly I turned. I'll probably have to buy Alex's silence for the free battle royal entries or a gift certificate for a strawberry watermelon Julius.
Yes.
How about a gift certificate to Strawberry Music Store? Remember those?
No.
No?
I was a big fan of The Wall, though.
The Wall? What was the other music store we had around? Tower Records. That's the other one.
Suncoast?
Anyways.
You had a Suncoast?
All right. Suncoast, yeah, we had those. We had Telos, too. And Chess King. Anyways. Exactly. 1 year ago today, during episode 172, I requested that Matt announce the state champions from all IWAR leagues in the show, but he proceeded to read a full list of winners regardless of network affiliation, which may have posed a challenge to some viewers' attention spans. To avoid recurrence, I have compiled the relevant title holders and placed their names below. Congratulations to the following. So, and one side note for commissioners out there, the IWA events are a fantastic way to find out the real name of the managers of wrestlers in your league. When you're like, hey, who manages Big Bad Bob? And it's Bob Bachland or something like that from England.
It's not Bob Bachland.
Yeah. However it is. Bob.
It's
Arena.
Joe Jehoshaphat.
Him too. All right. Let me take a swig here because it's going to be long.
Blue Gatorade, huh?
Sorry, this is, I don't know.
Arctic Ice?
Blue.
Is it fierce?
Can you read the label? Glacier Freeze.
That's not how glaciers taste like.
It's a slow day at the Gatorade store. What are we going to call this thing? I don't know. Who was that guy in WCW we liked?
Glacier?
I
was going to say Ernest the Cat Miller. What is that, a zero? What do you got that?
Let's call it Ranger
Gatorade
Ross.
Zero?
The Ding Dongs.
Ranger Ross.
Right.
I wonder if Ranger Ross is still in prison for robbing banks. It's a true story.
Should have paid
I'm waiting for
more.
the Dark Side of the Ring to come out. He's going to make one on Ranger Ross.
Thanks, Jim Hurd. All right. So, first, Blitzkrieg in the CWL, managed by Michael Tobacco, won the Arkansas, Kentucky, and Utah titles. Hypnotic, also in the CWL, was the last wrestler standing in the South Carolina, giving Michael his 4th victory, as well as 40 free matches for finishing the top 4 of the DC tournament. The Connecticut champion was your everyday hero, Oliver Livingston, from the BRL, managed by McLeon Jadu. And if you do listen to the show, McLeon, please email me. Also coached him to a W in Delaware. And Dark Danger made it number 3 for McLeon by winning the Wyoming title. Tormented Timmy from the ACW took the gold in Georgia. And Jason Franks also picked up the Michigan title with Steel Sampson. As I mentioned earlier, Idaho now being represented by G-Force Gary Morris from the NWL, who manages himself, earned 43 matches and making it to the Final Four in D.C. The Illinois championship was claimed by Punk Rock Mike, who I think wins one of these things every contest. I'm not even kidding. I just thought that in my head. The next line says, "It seems like manager Mike Patiulia, hope I'm saying that right, guides him to success in every contest we hold." Seriously, Punk Rock Mike, I'm not just saying this because he's in the BRL, is one of like the best event competitors. He really is. 3 out of the 4 last Johnny B Cups, he was a finalist. Crazy. No one besides Tim Clark ever did that. All right, so appearing on the cover of the latest IWAR magazine issue is Iowa champion Graveyard Dog from the RTL. And while they aren't IWAR leagues, I like to note that Catfish Rob also took the Maine and New York titles. Way to go, Catfish. Super Commissioner Jeremy Workman won the Nebraska Championship with the Chameleon and the IWL, and New Hampshire went to Agent 26, managed by yet another contest win by Tim Polino. Kamikaze of the CWL won in both New Mexico and Rhode Island. For frequent Tubecast viewer James Jensen, and James also claimed the belt in Oklahoma with Scapegoat. The reigning North Dakota champion is Playboy Mick Ferrari from the BRL, who is under contract to another regular viewer, Justin Vickers. And the last on the list, and arguably least, the big winner in Vermont was Axel Von Snop. Out of CWL, a rather obvious gift title for me. Thank you. Honorable mention goes to IWAR strategy guru Mike Cook, who conquered Colorado and South Dakota. And close this segment, total random piece of trivia. Johnny B found it disappointing that Ricky Spanish isn't 3 inches taller.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
There it is.
I think he was going for the 6'9" deal because I think I have him listed at 6'6".
Here's a trivia question for Johnny B question. If you could play a professional sport, which would it have been? Would you have been a baseball player, basketball
professional
player,
pickleball player?
Or pickleball, curling, whatever it took. What would be the sport you would play? I'm watching the draft, and the Celtics pick next. Sorry, we're going to be bad in this year coming up. All right, so that is out of trivia. Of course, as always, post your questions in the comments section.
Like, for example, Johnny Bean, when's the last time you've been to Pizza Booyah?
I was at United States of America.
United States of America, yes. Which is also,
I love that name.
Which is also, I don't know if it's at Willowick proper, but it's close enough.
That's a good question. I should ask this too. I think I asked it in the workshop, but if I didn't, I meant to ask it. Does Johnny B ever notice when we mention either Willowick type stuff or Ohio stuff? Do they notice that and get a chuckle out of it, or are they just like, these guys are weird?
Like, I will literally Google map it, and I will drive through the streets of Willowick, like, via the map, just to find interesting places.
I'll Google or I'll use DuckDuckGo, whatever it's called. I'll look up, like I had the mayor at one point. I think Barry Stevens beat up the mayor, or Bad Company beat somebody up from someplace in Ohio, and it was like
that cornflakes law is real. They can't sell cornflakes on Sundays. Like, that's a real law over. At least it was at one point. And there's something about a ship that went on fire and there's ghosts and stuff. It's a real thing.
All right, so I'm checking off Q&A. So there it is.
So any questions like what's your favorite cereal? Mine being Reese's Puffs. I'm a Reese's Puffs man, personally.
Get out of here, really?
Yeah. The all-time greatest cereal is the Ninja Turtle cereal, but they don't make it anymore. So it's like it was like Chex Mix. It was like Chex, but it had marshmallows in it. It was amazing.
Like Honey Nut Chex with marshmallows.
Like just regular Chex, like the square parts, and then marshmallows.
Okay.
Of like turtles and like Shredder.
All right, Celtics are on the clock here. This is a big pivotal moment. So, when is the IWAR draft this year? Well, I'll jump ahead and answer that. I don't have a firm date yet, but I got to talk to the commissioners and figure out a date they think would be effective for all of us to have it. I want to try to time it somewhere where it's not going to be either vacations or holidays. But I love the draft. It's a fun thing. Every year I'm like, but yeah, we'll announcing an official date. I kind of teased it in this first issue, just out right now. The next year I'm gonna have like an official flyer page. So there's that. Boom.
There it is.
And remember, the IWAR draft, you can send a new wrestler into it if you want, or an existing. Either way is fine, and it's free. So where do you want to lead off with ACW and get Ryan out of here, or let Ryan do his piece?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to do one piece of advice that when you do the IWAR, if you're drafting anybody in the IWAR draft, if you can, know who the guys are. Like, I thought US Mail was a good guy, so.
Or just like have me do it for you. That always works.
But I love when he drafted him, and then he's like, "I can't wait for him to fight Lex Luthor, Luther Alexander," and I'm like, "What?" Yeah, helps to know.
If you can,
It may be a thing if you guys, if you wait 4 cycles, that may be a possibility. After the, not this pay-per-view, but the following NWO pay-per-view.
Okay. All right. So yeah.
All right, Ryan, you want to start with the ACW?
All right, let's go. Summer number 9, all the way up to 9
already too. That seems to be fast.
Yeah, here we go. ACW League Champion, Blackjack Roberts.
Son of a bitch.
Yep.
I was actually leaving a pause just for that. American Territories, Bud Mudd. New England Champion, Keanu Thunder. Atlantic Coast, Jackknife Justice. Great Lakes, Jawbone Jack. Smoky Mountain, Scurvy Jones. Deep South, Tormented Timmy. Gulf Coast Champion, the Crimson Ego AO Bloodthorn. Texas Heartland Champion, I believe back-to-back, Chainsaw Henley. Rocky Mountain Champion, Steel Samson. Desert States, Starlight. Pacific Coast, Ravishing Dick Dude. ACW League Tag Team Champions, the Regulators, Shotgun James Carnage and Blackjack Robertson. American Territories Tag Team Champions, Julius Creed and El Grande Americano. ACW League 6-Man Champions, General Displeasure, Colonel Fustard and STF Ewing. American Territory 6-Man Champions, Brutus Creed, Julius Creed and El Grande Americano. And the Battle Royal winner was Blackjack Robertson. This cycle we got $35 that goes into the commissioner's title fund for the next pay-per-view. Nobody obviously won the Triple Crown that cycle, so next cycle it goes to, if you can win it, 140 free matches
God damn.
$1.8 million. That'll be for the next cycle. And those are your champions.
All right, what's going down? ACW.
This was the cycle for our second pay-per-view, the Great American Bash. Just if anybody needs to know like how I do them. So the pay-per-view runs this cycle. I use the holds from last cycle. And in the report, even the very beginning when it's the commissioner report itself, it's pre-pay-per-view. So if you do want to kind of stay with the timeline, this cycle would have been before your match. But if you set something in because you already knew the results, that's fine too. But if you want to stay in the timeline,
you got to protect canon.
Report, the commissioner's report is pre-pay-per-view. And then even like when you scroll down, like the pictures of the champions are not updated because the pay-per-view hasn't happened yet. And I always put the pay-per-view at the very end, it's the last thing. So it's like the last thing of the cycle for everybody to see. So if that is something that interests you in kind of keeping the timeline of how that works. So the results, I'll kind of just do them quickly here. The heavyweight title match was Ravishing Dick Dude taking on Shotgun James Carnage. I guess the main story was, could the Regulators win all 4 commissioners' titles?
Fuck no.
The James Carnage successfully defended against Ravishing Dick Dude. Little manager interference helped. Texas Jesse Tombstone won the title from AO Bloodthorn in a clean match. The experience overcame the young kid's confidence. In the tag team match, Carnage and Tombstone defeated Jawbone Jack and Tormented Timmy when Tormented Timmy jumped in the crowd fighting for a rotisserie chicken. And the last shot at keeping the regulators from making history actually happened. Eddie Chavez, Tito Santana, and Terry Garnier defended the titles against the regulators when they actually used the same tactics the regulators did. There was some interference, and they used the titles to blindside a couple of the regulators, and they got the victory. So they stopped the sweep.
That's it.
So congratulations to the Heart Association.
They didn't run the table. There is
They
a
did
God.
not run.
Thank you.
So from there we go down to scrolling.
And guys, make sure you read these pay-per-views. A lot of work goes into these things. So do yourself a favor. Read them.
Yeah, even like using the AI, it took me so much longer than I thought, because like it doesn't come out perfect every time. You got to tweak it and teach it. And...
Yeah, it's more of a. Sometimes it's just easier writing the thing. To be honest, sometimes
I thought the same thing, but I'm not as good, so I just need to teach it. The number one contender battle royal for the United States title went to. For the United States title went to Miles Maverick.
Son of a bitch.
He fended off some interference from Tracy Lords and Steven Seagal and Todd Bridges to win with the help of his mimes.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it was evened it out. The number one contenders from the tag team battle royal are Mud and Spud Mud. Swamp Sock Jr. defeated Hocus Crocus in a Louisiana swamp fight, which was something very different. The people, we had a paid-for message from Luther Alexander. Make sure and check that out.
Sure did.
He does not care for socks and frogs.
No.
Let's see, we have that one. The Trios number one contender battle royal went to the new team that's T6R. And I put in the bulletin that they're brand new, so I'm giving them a little break. But if there's no TT from them, they will be replaced before the next pay-per-view. And the number one contender for the heavyweight title is now Starlight. And then we had a total package U.S. mail, got to address the ACW, was interrupted by ACW's newest signing, Keanu Thunder.
Keanu.
They got into it. And then after the main event was a steel cage match between the Greatest American Hero and Happy Meal. And Happy Meal with Scurvy Jones pretty much dominated the match, but in the end, the Greatest American Hero found a way to win. The delight of the fans. Then at the very end, about an hour after the show, U.S. Mail attacked Keanu Thunder in the parking lot, and that's how the pay-per-view goes off the air.
I dig that.
What the hell?
So, Ryan, let me ask you a question. When you're first coming up with the concept of the ACW, did you think you're going to have all these larger-than-life characters in your league?
I had not done.
You got aliens. Like you got a frog wizard. You got a swamp sock. You got a lot of things going on here.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for that. I didn't have that IWL back in the day, but the good thing about it is they TT and have stories every cycle, and if between just reading it and using a little AI, it's at least there's stuff you can work with because they participate every cycle, which I appreciate so much.
I was trying to explain it the way that it feels kind of like you have a blend of, I don't know, independent wrestling somewhere and Chikara Pro. Like, remember Chikara, like the wrestling ants?
Wrestling ants, they had guys in like, they had like CM Punk, which was like a CM Punk, but it was like a mascot, like a basketball mascot wearing like the big costume.
Oh, of course, if you ever watched Kaiju Big Battle, that's probably like.
So yeah, that was the pay-per-view. There was $115 in IWA credit given out to the champions, and we're already off to a good start with 35 this cycle. So hopefully we can We can keep that up.
Awesome.
A quick question here from DCL. It would be great if there was a ranking of top 10 NWL graduation class and the most successful graduates. I'm guessing you're meaning a sense of, you can refine
Like
this.
post NWL?
Post NWL, because you can see the top
Yeah.
10 of all time. But yeah, I think you could do
I
that.
think
and
number
talk about
one,
who
I
should
think it's Joe Bourne, number one off the top.
Yeah, Joe Bourne's got a really good, he won the IWA championship.
Yeah.
He's won a whole bunch of events.
There was so most of your major players, like the bigger characters, I would say at least, say like 70% were graduates of NWL. Like there were some that were, they came along after, like when the managers graduated out, but a lot of the, current big stars all came from NWL. Oh, best entire class. Oof.
I would, at top of my head, I would say it was the combination of Joe Bourne,
Was it boring?
Brad, Seth, Tom, Jake.
Yep.
Those
Derek
guys were like
at the
four of the
time.
best.
Yeah.
Those guys were like, they all came out at the same time and really.
So there was a point where we had it felt like we had 10 to 12 really good managers at the same time in NWL. That's like that's when the card shot up. Although there was a brief time where like NWL was the number one league for a couple of cycles before the BRL took it back over. But like that was insane.
Yeah, they've had good careers, so to speak.
Went on to do big things. Speaking of the end,
where are you going next?
Probably speaking of the NWL, let's head on over there.
All right.
All right, National Wrestling League Bulletin 237, summer 2025. League champion, the immoral Max Marvel. TV champion, Brian Clothier. Central Plains champion, Kerry Garrett. East Coast champion, Leela Chiladrina. Great Lakes champion, Gary Morris. Mid-Atlantic champion, Arcane. Northeast champion, Notorious Jesus. Pacific Northwest champion, El Luchador Americano. Rocky Mountain champion, Mark the Fan Botch. Southeast champion, the Tokyo Kid. Southwest champion, Static Motion. West Coast champion, Johnny Ray Stevens. League tag team champions, Super Micamenis and Leela Chiladrina. That's Fish Fam. TV tag team champions, Mad Dog Henry Healer and Arcane. League six-man champion, winning another 5 free matches, Fish Fam. TV six-man champion, Rusty Chains, Mad Dog Henry Healer, and Arcane. And your Battle Royal winner, G-Force Gary Morris. So that's what's going down in the NWL. Well, I'm in the midst. I'm actually done writing the Rumble in the Bronx pay-per-view. So that's completed. I'm waiting for some submissions from gentlemen that wanted to have some input on it. So just waiting for those so I can finish off that pay-per-view. A lot of twists and turns, and the big thing about writing pay-per-views, I think, if I can give anyone a piece of advice, is sometimes when you're writing a match, especially with when you lose and when you win, sometimes it's not who goes over, who gets over. So the person might win the match, but doesn't mean they're gonna they basically don't go over. So what I mean by that is, like, sometimes you feature someone that loses and kind of it spawns the reaction from the loss versus someone celebrating in the win. So it's something to keep in mind. And of course, you want to treat everyone with dignity and respect, unless you did in TT or you went in active and had a pay-per-view match, you're getting squashed. So that's kind of the rule there. But overall, a great job in terms of TT and the NWL. And if you guys give me a moment, I can actually play the TT recap that we did. So let's give me 30 seconds. And we did have a nice bounce back cycle in terms of getting new players. I don't know where these new players came from, but all of a sudden we needed them and they appeared. So okay. And we will play it now. So mute these guys real fast. And okay. All right. So again, you're going to have the guys on the Tubecast are not going to be able to hear it, but everyone else will. So 3 minutes and 18 seconds of a recap.
NWL 237 detonates the powder keg in Florence. The chaos starts with Magnum TA, who declares himself the victor in silence, mocking his missing rival, El Luchador Americano, daring the rest of the roster to step up. From there, we descend into the horror of the Arcane Monsters, where Geraldo Rivera, deep in an underground bunker, unveils Arcane as an alien specimen, while Brian Clothier lowers a scalpel and delivers the most terrifying line of the issue. Let's see what makes you tick, Professor. Arcane awakens in a cold locker room, haunted, but there's no time to process. Gary Morris is on a mission, confronting Clothier, interrogating Todd Ockerly, slapping the taste out of his mouth, and getting a cryptic warning from Tracy. The clock is ticking. He calls Brian. He says 2 words, bring the bolt cutters. In the ring, Gary ambushes Ozzy Deathstrike, leads him to Mad Dog Healer, stands tall as the Grand Prix belt lies abandoned on the field. Meanwhile, Mark the Fan Botch panics about thumbtacks and scorpions, but pledges allegiance to Fishbone with Nacho Stain courage. Henry Healer vows to end Ozzy's reign not with finesse, but with a full-blown reckoning. Then Rusty Chains delivers a farewell soaked in legacy and fire, walking away from the NWL after dominating every turn with the belt in his path. Arcane turns his wrath on Clothier, declaring war not on a man, but on an illusion. Reiko Suave Valentino screams that he's undefeated, unstoppable, and uncancelable. And then the arena shakes, not from an entrance, but from a return. Kamikaze is back. He mocks Luther's legal games. He lusts after Tracy. He brags about beating Luther at homecoming and laughs at the NWL's current state. Kamikaze sets his sights on Jesus and Fishbone. Ripping into them is unworthy, ridiculous, and unfit to carry weight. And in the only show of respect in his entire promo, he singles out Mark Botch as someone with potential, someone who just might be worth mentoring. In response, Jesus emerges with a blood and thunder sermon, vowing to judge Kamikaze with holy violence in the Bronx. Outside the arena, Fish Fam runs a chaotic, churro-powered merch stand promo, mocking Dimitri and Vlad while signing hot dogs and foam fingers with righteous energy. And then the arena shakes again. Bowman Bolt steps forward with pure fury, calling Scapegoat a tool of power, promising to exorcise him in the Bronx. He threatens Johnny B, dreams of snapping his neck, and vows to stuff Luther Alexander into a Russian body bag, zipped up with a failed legacy inside. This isn't rebellion, he snarls. This is Bolt justice. And in the final gasp of the bulletin, Dr. Gene Poole returns from the shadows, offering the NWL locker room a gift wrapped in madness, a new shipment of MK Ultra, and a promise that aggressive intentions will rise again. He's watching, recruiting, rebuilding, and when that pallet hits the floor, transformation will follow. This isn't hype. This isn't storytelling. This is the beginning of a war. This is NWL Bulletin 237. In the Bronx, there will be no excuses.
And that is your NWL recap.
God damn.
It's only about 3 minutes long. There's a lot of stuff going on. Lots of stuff going on.
Hey, it's all right.
Hey, listen, commissioners, if you want a recap just like that, and you want to just send it over to me, I can do that too. It gets kind of tricky with the pronunciation sometimes, and sometimes it will mispronounce names like I do, but it's fun. I think everyone gets the drift.
Right.
So keep.
And I chimed in with some more names.
Yeah, no, I saw
classes.
that. Yep.
I mean, we've had some really good close. Those two, and I will say this too: it's not just a matter of how they stood out as a player, but like for instance, like Jake. Oh, I left Seth off the list of 2016.
Yeah.
Seth also part of it. You know, just a huge, like commissioner-wise, you know, innovative. Is UNL good stuff.
Yeah.
Running the best. I'm not tired.
You are tired.
I am tired.
Well, you can use some of that energy to go right into the BRL.
Oh shit! I mean, that's great. BRL. Well, let's see here. Once again, for whatever reason, parts of the bulletin the report didn't print right, but not Idaway's fault. I don't know, something in my glitchy, terrible system, but that's okay. All right, so Battle Royal League number 638. Summer Cycle, and our league champion, winning $25 in IWA credit. Hot stuff, Adam Cash.
He's still around?
10-time champion of BRL. He enters the top 5, I think, in that list there. So, yay me.
He's just a compiler anyway because he's been around for so long.
In a mostly shit cycle, there were 2 things that made me happy. This was one of them. The other we'll get to later. The Battle Royal winner, another longtime BRL star, Ghostly Shadows, winning $25 in IWA credit. So the tag champions, the Dazzles, Fab and Razzle. The TV tag champions,
You see jazz hands?
Jr. That's right.
It's ridiculous.
Brutal Brian Welch and Bill LaPointe Jr. 6-man champions winning 5 free matches, Polar Circle, Tiny Jordan, Crusher Nutella, and Low Blow Lamaki. And the BRL TV 6-man champions, Mad Max Red Wolf, El Barbero, and Fatty the Butcher. TV champion, Agent 26, Central Plains, Randy the Ram, East Coast, Buster Hyman, Great Lakes champion, the Saskatchewan Sasquatch, Middle East champion, Ghostly Shadows, Northeast champion, Hillbilly Voodoo, Docs Holland, Pacific Northwest champion, Man Enough. Where's his tag partner, Show Enough?
Who's the master?
El Barbero, Southeast champion, Fenris, Southwest champion, Fatty the Butcher, and West Coast champion, Hillbilly Steve. Ta-da!
Is Steve really a hillbilly type name though? Like you think? Okay, you go like hillbilly names. You go like Cletus, right? That's the most obvious one.
Yeah. Well, it happens.
Like, hey, Steve.
Yeah. We had a whopping 126 cards. Nice bounce back. So activity picked up.
A lot.
Battle Royal with like 8,000 people in it.
Commissioners, you want to hit that 100 mark. That's the goal. Goal's 100 cards or more.
Yes, you'll send me a potato if you do.
Yeah.
So, let's see what's going on. Well, lots going on. We have the Autumn Anarchy 13 build-up going on as we chug on towards the next big pay-per-view. That'll happen in August 26th. And, of course, it's based on the results from episode 640.
Did we mention how you have an autumn pay-per-view in August?
I know, it's just the way it plays out. August is kind of autumn. I mean, the trees start turning.
What? Not around here, dude.
Yeah, it ain't summer. I don't know. Around here, it's
summer until at least like the first week of October over here.
Let's see here. We had some qualification matches going on for the Last Blood Battle Royal at Autumn Anarchy. Is a Battle Royal where the last person left not bleeding wins. And we had Hollywood DVS defeat Steel Cutouts to qualify. Let me find it. Ever popular. Where the hell is this guy? Joe Tusa. And Joe Tusa took on Lex Stevenson. And it was a tie, so I'll go the tiebreaker as a surprise finish, which is code for I'll check the last cycle, because always was tiebreaker, always goes the previous cycle. And Dark Danger faced Randy the Ram, and I'm pretty sure Randy, oh my God, despite winning a tie, that's the wrong Randy. I'm sorry. Yeah, Randy the Ram defeated Dark Danger. Look at that. So Randy the Ram, Hollywood DVS, and either Joe Tusa or Lex Stevenson will get in, and that's always part of the fun. I mentioned, of course, in the out-of-character stuff that we're always looking for someone to help out. And I'm still in the process of redesigning the front cover of the BRL for the 40th anniversary of the game. It's in the works. I got to send another prototype to the IWA to have their thoughts on it. Design-wise, there's a certain spacing and whatnot. But one of the things I want to do is add in a portion of the game back from the 80s. In the old IWA, and probably Darren and one other person remembers this, there used to be a TV card in every bulletin. And it was 4 matches. And I don't know how they picked them, but they were 4 like a TV title match.
Why don't you just ask them? How'd you pick those?
I don't know.
Johnny B.
Maybe Johnny B could tell us how they pick those. But I would want someone to be the booker for the TV, so to speak. And it'll just be a random part of the show. And the match results and the matchups would be posted in like the actual bulletin front page. But like I said, a lot of things are in the works. So that's one of the things I'm going to work on. And when I talk about someone who wants to help and be part of the commissioner team, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Like someone who wants to like be a commissioner, wants to
It's a
give it
good way
try,
to
kinda see how the
learn. Like
process works.
being a co-commissioner is a lot easier than being a commissioner, and it's a good way to learn, with somebody.
Yes. And it's not very taxing, so you can, uh, dip your toes into it. If you don't like it, you don't have to worry about it. We have some building feuds between Hillbilly Kevin and Steel Cut Oates. They just agreed, breaking news, that they're going to have a backwoods brawl. So I have a feeling it might be kind of like the what was it? Matt Hardy used to have the compound matches.
broken Hardy deal.
That stuff, yeah. And of course, Ghostly Shadows being called out by the Dungeon Master, Sheldon Shroot. He knows how to deal with monsters. Let's see here. We have, oh god, a dancing masked wrestler who looks like, who was the guy that Christopher Daniels wrestled as, the mask guy?
Curry Man.
That's the one.
Or Suicide, if you want to be a jerk about it.
I believe not Suicide. We have a great promo from Punk Rock Mike, Agent 26. Their feud's boiling. A boot. Savage Credence talking about their feud. They're getting a title shot with the McFlahertys. So, seeing some good feuds boiling up, building up. And Lex Stevenson calling out Joe Tusa. Joe Tusa always promos and looking for title shots. So I'm always pulling for Joe Tusa. That's a very fiery, oh my god, Oliver Livingston cutting a very evil promo. My god. It's all fire and brimstone here, but it's also sideways. So they're killing us. Come on, IWA.
Lock it in.
Yeah. And Joe Tusa responds to Dapper Dandy's questioning why he attacks all the champions. And he says, I attack every champion until that way finally takes notice of me and gives me the matches I want. And I just want to put out there on a limb and say that I hope Joe Tusa's signing matches against the champions. You can do that. So this time you attack the Heartthrob, Hawaiian Heartthrob. I can't say it's a direct correlation, but Joe Tusa attacked him, and then he loses the BRL Championship.
Makes sense.
I'm just saying, read those tea leaves.
You can't really read. They got no letters on them.
That's right. We have the sixth cycle of Frando Warp Slayer lamenting his time being stuck in the BRL. What can you do? King Khan comes out and he kind of alludes that he's got a favor owed by Adam Cash and Dixon Ticonderoga. So there's a lot going on, but we're always looking for more trash talk. Some players have reached out to me. There's actually 3 players I know off the top of my head who have been delayed in their return to action, and they're coming back hopefully this cycle. So that'd be great. But BRL still full of action, and we're looking to build towards more feuds. So if you want to be involved and you have questions or ideas, fire away. That's the BRL 638.
So Matt, you know the rule about trash talk and angles when people ask me for advice on what they should do about those things. And I normally say, I don't care what you do, just make it good.
Yeah.
So that's the rule.
If you lose, make it good. If you win, make it good.
Make it good. So it's a lot of different directions. Like when I'm in feuds and I'm thinking about directions of where I want to go in, it's like, all right, so I have an idea where I'm going if I win. I have an idea where I'm going if I lose, and then a third one just in case shenanigans and tomfoolery occurs. So always have those ideas in the back of your mind.
Right.
Okay.
I can do IWL.
Go for it.
All right, IWL 210 League Champion Bulk Brogan, TV Champion The Legend Buzz Prescott, New York City Champion Baddest American Cycler Schwinn Wheeler, Los Angeles Champion Rey Del Mundo, Boston champion Davey Blossom, Detroit champion Mike Rampage Sanders, Cleveland champion Suyu Pai, Dallas champion Magnum TL, one of the originals.
Still around, huh?
Still around. Memphis champion Alec Von Snop.
Boo.
Miami champion Litigation. San Francisco champion Andrew Ace Armas. Chicago champion Americano Hank Henkel. League tag Windsor Detroit and On Point Edward Port Huron. TV tag team champions Chase Grace and Justin Grace.
I think they're better than the Regulators.
We're about to find out. They in the TT the regs have decided it's time for them to start fighting. League 6-man Suyu Pai, Windsor Detroit, On Point Edward Port Huron. TV 6-man champions the Honorable Guilty SL, Terry Legal and Litigation. Battle Royal winner, winning 33 free matches, the baddest American cycler, Schwinn Wheeler. And in this bulletin, as soon as I scroll down here, I did the. Let's see if I find it here. June 2013, we debuted the IWL. So 12 years.
12 years, jeez.
12 years. And what I like to do every year is I still keep track of all the records and title holders. And so here's who's held the titles the most. The IWL League title has been held 9 times by Ali Atari.
Ugh.
Yes.
IWL TV title, Joe Boring and Ali Atari, 14 times apiece. That's a lot. New York City is John Satterfield and Dr. Slam 6 times. The Los Angeles is Blackjack Robertson at 7. Boston, Johnny WrestleFest 6 times. Detroit, Shotgun James Carnage 7. Cleveland, Matthew Grabowski 11 times. Dallas, Ali Atari 9 times. Memphis, Jonathan Annihilation 7 times. Miami is Blackjack Robertson and Alex Arriba Armas 4 times. San Francisco is a Hank Henkel, James Carnage, Christopher Destruction, Magnum TL all 4 times each. Chicago, Ali Atari again, Tim Riggins III and Chase Grace 6 times. The League Tag Team, Graham Underwood and Kennedy Cage, and then Christopher Destruction and Kenneth Oblivion 11 times each. TV Tag Team titles, Christopher Destruction and Kenneth Oblivion 12 times.
Those guys were so good.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. League 6-man champions, the Regulators 28 times. TV 6-man champions, the Regulators 29 times. And Battle Royal winners, Ali Atari again, and Tim Riggins III 8 times apiece. And that is a little IWL history on its birthday.
Can I tell you a fun fact right now? A little warning. When you're sending your matches in, make sure you update your match sheet because the Americanos would have had the tag titles, but I forgot to sign the match. Whoops.
Also, like when you go to change a wrestler's name, you don't tell them that you're changing the wrestler's name, but you just put the wrestler's name, they won't change it unless you tell them to. Which happened to me this cycle. It's like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to change the Red Scorpion's name, and it didn't change. Oops.
Yeah.
All right, Scott, do you want to do RTL?
I don't even know where it went.
It's right behind the porn.
I'm already done with that.
So, in me making AI images of Tracy, who doesn't wear a lot of clothes, generally speaking, the AI takes some adult liberties with her from time to time. I'm like, oh.
Uh-oh.
I can't send that into the IWA.
Uh-oh. The camel clutch becomes a camel toe clutch.
Yeah, it sure does.
Oh.
It sure does.
My God, keep it family friendly.
It's hard sometimes.
For Dad.
It's hard. Literally and figuratively. This episode of the Tubecast has been brought to you by Blue True and Pizza Booyah. One of these days, Johnny B's going to drive past the Pizza Booyah. He's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm getting Pizza Booyah today.
Pizza Booyah.
Just get that in an Orange Julius.
I might have to move. Everywhere he goes just reminds him of you.
It's like, son of a bitch. It's so bad.
All right. Rolling Thunder League number 42. League champion, the Big Worm. Big Worm.
Big Worm. Big Worm.
League Tag Team Champions, Motormouth Brody Piper and Chief Moose Crossfox. The RTO League 6-man champs, winning another 5 free matches. Motormouth Brody Piper, Lance Blackwolf, and Chief Moose Crossfox. Your TV champion is the Menacing Minister. And your regional champions, Central Plains champion, Derek Cash Styles.
Oh.
East Coast champion, Uncut Gem, Greg E. Money. Great Lakes champion, Money Mike. There's a lot of money there.
Money, money, money.
Mid-Atlantic champion, Deacon Elroy. Northeast champion, Thomas T.D. Banks. Pacific Northwest champion, one of my favorites, Snacks. Rocky Mountain champion, Papacito. Southeast champion, Lance Blackwolf. Southwest champion, disgruntled shoe salesman, Arch Eel. Your West Coast champion and Rookie of the Year, Graveyard Dog.
Oof.
And your tag team champions, the TV tag champs, Michael Martin Jr. and his new friend, Vagabond.
He's homeless.
I talked to Michael Martin, and he said that he didn't mind the. He's got a nice oven box and a refrigerator box, and they're connected.
Nice.
So it's pretty nice in there.
Remember when all those kids were dying because they kept on playing in refrigerators? Like that was an epidemic, like in 1984, where like kids are just dying in refrigerators all the time. Like, hey, listen, don't throw away your refrigerators without taking the doors off first. Like that was a big thing around here.
Yeah.
We're stupid.
There's always that some story kid like, oh, he decided to hide in there
From all the
All right,
molesters.
Yeah.
All right, your TV 6-man champs, Uncut Jim, Greggy Money, Derek Cash Styles, and Thomas T.D. Banks. And your Battle Royal winner, 14 free RTL matches, the Uncut Gem, Greg E. Money.
This guy was going down in the RTL.
A few things here, a few things there.
Fair enough.
Well, don't forget you had the Eye of the Storm pay-per-view.
There were 43 cards, 14 Battle Royal participants. And the Rolling Thunder report by that wonderful commissioner, Michael Martin Sr.
Or his name isn't.
Oops. All right. So then we had June 3rd, it was Eye of the Storm. And see, we had the Thunder Cup Championship, 2 out of 3 falls. Michael Martin Jr. defeated Mr. Jobber. Not 1, not 2, but all 3 falls.
That's right.
Has it actually happened in actual wrestling where it's like 2 out of 3 falls and the guy just puts 2 straight? Piece of shit out of him.
But it doesn't really happen where you win the first 2 and say, hey, screw it, let's go for 3 anyway.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like
Not best
I've
of
seen the
5.
one where like the guy gets disqualified like in the second one, but then he can't win the match anymore because the title doesn't change hands on the fucking disqualification. I've seen that nonsense before.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
We had the final for the Thunder Cup matchup for the second matchup, and it was the heartthrob Dan Corvette defeating Arch Hill. So Dan Corvette will go on to take on Michael Martin Jr. for the Thunder Cup. I really need a thunder in the background when I talk about this.
I can probably get an effect at some point.
Got the homeless lumberjacks match. Greggy Money defeated Vagabond. It was like the fans were behind Vagabond, but thankfully the Uncut Jim caught Vagabond with his moneymaker, and I didn't write this, so me reading it for the first time. So thanks to one of the homeless lumberjacks tripped Vagabond for a handful of cool hard cash from Greg after the match. The coffin match, Graveyard Dog defeated the Overtaker. And then the 10-man battle royal, your winner was Derek Cash Styles. Coming up next is September 16th will be Maximum Reign. And the main event will be the Thunder Cup Championship main event. Michael Martin Jr. against the heartthrob Dan Corvette. Special stipulations will be announced. We had some words from Vagabond talking about Michael Martin Sr. and how crummy he is.
He is kind of crummy.
And we had Money Talks and Uncut Jim Greg E. Money.
They're so good.
Demanding a microphone. He's talking about the Vagabond and the trash he is. I'm sorry, he keeps himself pretty clean now. So
I think he's one of those fake homeless people that they beg for money all day and then they go in a Lamborghini and leave.
Of course.
Yeah.
Heading to church, there's a guy who is totally wiped out an RV. I mean, the only thing that's together is the front where you can drive it, but the walls are wiped out. It's just a shell. So I don't know what he's going to do with it, but thought he could get a lot of people living there. I'll have to take a picture of it. Yeah,
I want to see that.
Put it in the next RTO. And there's Whoop Ass Incorporated presents Dan Corvette talking to the crowd in Kansas City, talking about Arch Hill and wanting to become the second Thunder Cup champion. And then right after that, Arch Hill, the disgruntled shoe salesman, talks about Dan Corvette. So
I think the promo that's next is from the NWL. I don't know why.
Yep, I mean, it was like the Fish Fam made an appearance.
Yeah. Hey. Michael Martin Sr. said he would welcome anyone in, no matter if it was Fish.
Fish Fam is dope. Like they're really good, and they're a lot of fun. So basically, you have the tag team of Super McManus and Ela Trendrina, but I write them as like this super underdog team that kind of the bad guys always kind of slip on a banana peel and they always keep on winning all the time, and they're really fun to write. Which Ryan may you may want to know, the regulators may make good appearance at the NWO pay-per-view. They might be around doing stuff. Lots of fun.
Well, we thought about doing that anyway, so nicely done.
you'll see that. You'll see that next cycle when that comes out.
Nice.
All right, so that's about it for the RTL.
That's the RTL.
We welcome more and more people.
Yeah, man.
43 cards isn't going to cut it.
You're on your way, though. You're on your way for sure. All right. Next up, I think I'll do the CWL. All right, CWL Continental Wrestling League number 340, summer 2025. League champion, morning person, early riser. TV champion, the Red Scorpion. United States champion, Bloodsucker Moski 2. Yukon champion, Zeb Martin. Caribbean champion, Mike freaking Mason. Amazon Basic champion, a reborn Jonathan Davis. British Isles champion, the American Patriot. Arabian champion, Diamond Daddy. South African champion, Anu Starks. Siberian champion, the Red Scorpion's friend, Doug. East Asian champion, a Borg Genesis. Oceanic champion, Reese Rutledge. League Tag Team champions, No Miss G. Uner and Eagle Eye Mark Semin. TV Tag Team champion, Axel and Alex Von Schnapp. They don't deserve it. League Six-Man champion, Anu Starks, Thandi Nye, and the reborn Jonathan Davis. TV Six-Man champion, Axel, Alex, and Alex Von Schnapp. And your Battle Royal winner winning 25, that's right, 25 CWL matches, the American Patriot. So I know the CWL just had their pay-per-view, so make sure everyone spends some time in reading that. If you read that pay-per-view, you will learn the identity of the Red Scorpion 2. He unmasks in this pay-per-view, and you see a shocking return. So do yourself a favor. I know Jeremy worked really, really hard on it, so please go through and read it and enjoy it, because it's really, really well done. Really good pay-per-view overall. The next pay-per-view they're having is Under Siege, so the main event will be Nature Boy Phil Landers taking on Norman Aloof Kevness for the World Championship. So that is the CWL in a nutshell. Again, guys, take your time, read all the TT. There's a ton of it, so make sure that you take the time out and read it all. And now, my favorite thing about this whole entire thing is now that Big Bang Bob has a new logo, which is the same logo as Cody Rhodes. That's hand drawn. So, we love Big Bang Bob. All right. So
I think love is kind of a strong
I
word.
love him.
I tolerate him.
Fair enough.
Yes.
He uses Goldberg's music, and I don't know if Goldberg's going to make it to Saudi Arabia or not. So
I don't know if
they canceled that
I don't know
show.
if he
Does anyone know?
Bam.
Oh, is that happening this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Or not, maybe?
That's in Atlanta. It's in Atlanta.
It's in Atlanta now.
Yeah.
They moved it.
Oh, no, they didn't move it. It was never going to be Saudi Arabia. It was.
Oh, right. That's right. He's on the main event. That's right. It's Punk and Cena in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I don't know if you guys saw, like, the way Goldberg moves, it's gonna.
He looked jacked up.
He's gonna give Undertaker a run for his money on time to the ring.
Why do they keep bringing him back? Nobody fucking wants that guy. He sucks.
He has to be on a deal, right? He has to be like, hey, listen, we're paying you X amount of money to get something out of you, type of deal. Like, he has to be big.
I mean,
I heard it was his retirement match he wasn't going to do anymore.
Is he just angling to get his son in at this point?
Yes.
And that's what he's doing.
And that would not surprise me if that's what happens.
Yeah.
I think my prediction is they want him because it's Atlanta, hometown, gets the son in. Win. I'm not gonna predict it, but I could see him winning. Gunther gets pissed, chokes him out. Here comes Seth.
Fair enough. Is Braun Breaker movie on that show? Isn't he from Atlanta too?
Sure.
I'm not sure with that.
I'm pretty sure the Steiners lived in Atlanta for all that time.
Oh, yeah.
Is it Onashoni's over there?
Yes.
So that would make sense.
Or he did.
Fair enough.
I think he sold it off.
Good for him. All right, Matt. Do you want to be? You want to do BWL?
Sure. All right, so we have Black Widow League number 55. The nickel as from Michael Jordan went for a double nickel. Remember
You
that?
sure did.
No, no.
Yeah.
All right. Queen Bee, Sarah B. Money is our league champion. Television champion Rachel Van Dorn. Battle Royal winner Bandita. Japan Idol champion Brenda Bring the Pain. Joshi champion Queen of the Ring Aria Gunpowder. Zenjo champion Mother D. Luchadores champion Golden Girl Gina Colada. Cholitas champion The Black Soul Lizzie Robin. Bellatrix champion Haruka Salt. Themyscaria champion Rachel Yamazaki. Hollywood champion Bandita. Sin City champion Wildfire Betty Red. And the Willowick champion Beatrix Von Chaos.
What's going down? The BWL.
Well, we have let's see, upcoming action because of the last pay-per-view. We now have rivals Betty Red and Mother D teaming up to take on the IWAR World Tag Champions Gina Colada and Brenda Payne. That's going to be a big one. And Mother D beat Rachel Van Dorn for the global title, so she's got that. And we're building towards Queen of the Ring, of course. So the first round matchups just happened. I just got the other day. I'm going to pull it up because I know Patrick updated this. Yeah, here it is. All right, so first round results. Rachel Van Dorn defeated Jen Grapevine. Rachel Yamazaki defeated Betty Red. Gina Colada defeated Jesse Dragunov. Veruca Salt lost to Huntress. Sarah B. Money defeated Delaney Youngblood. Brenda Payne beat Beatrix Von Chaos. Bandita was beaten by Mother D. Oh, wait a minute. I see an error there.
Uh-oh.
Bandita to 496. Mother D 495. So
there it is.
Maybe that one's backwards. And Aria Gunpowder won the three-way dance to advance over Lisa Robin and Zoya Parfanova. Again, the winner of this gets an IWAR Women's Championship match. So this is underway now, and has a cool logo too. There it is. All right, so that's that. And jumping back into BWL, we have matches announced for the next Venom and Vengeance. This is going to be a BBW versus BWL event. So we have Cage of Doom match, and that's Colada and Payne versus Dr. BB and Catfish Josie. Mexican Death match, Blackjack Betty versus Bandita. A no-rope barbed wire match, Aria Gunpowder versus mystery opponent. And a chain match of Mother D versus Queen Vixen Red. So those are so far, more to come. And yeah, Queen's Web 2 will be based on results in cycle 58, right up to 59, and that means it is a mere 4 cycles away. And so far we have a women's tag match with Colada and Payne versus Betty Red and Mother D. Triple threat championship, Betty Red defending against Veruca Salt and Rachel Yamazaki. Mother D defending against number one contender match winner. And the Rachel Van Dorn defending against Aria Gunpowder. And Jersey Jen in a championship match, Mayhem. And more. But just, again, the BWL is really fun. It's a good league. Lots going on. And there's a new kind of breakdown of promos. Just, it's really, the sport's getting better and better. Patrick's done a great job with it. Whoever was it before him was a bum.
Yeah, what a jerk.
That guy sucked. Yes. So there's a write-up for Where the Boys Aren't For in this issue. Please go through and read it. It's really a fun read. I always enjoy when I see the guys, like, somebody posts the PDF and you see the guys, oh my God, that was awesome. Did you see that? So please check that out. Give it a read. And as always, be active and send in your promos. Tip your waitress. So there it is.
There it is. Any volunteers to do the Western Trails
League? Scott wants to.
Western Frontier
Ryan was saying he
champion
wanted
Lanny
to do it.
Teague, Picasso won Lone Star, Tommy Maddox, Central Plains, Neil O'Donnell, Mexico, Dave Rudabaugh, Dodge City, Chainsaw Chuck won the Tombstone title. Prairie View champion was the Lone Ranger, Doc Holliday, Widowmaker, Badlands, Babyface Nelson. Cripple Creek is Tim Pressive. The Southwest champion is Cactus Jack. Really? Come on. Chisholm Trail champion Bill Show. Your Western Frontier Tag Team champions Lanny Probate and Trucker Van Leer. Your tag Lone Star Tag champs are Picasso and Mange. Your Western Frontier Six-Man champions are the Presidents, Carter, Nixon, and Reagan. Lone Star Six-Man champs, the Buckshots, Billy, Bo, and Benji. And your Bunkhouse Brawl winner, AI Picasso. What's going down?
What's going down? And the WTL.
I like that new cover.
Yeah, no, it's dope.
64 cards. Very nice.
Rock solid. Rock solid. Do they have a pay-per-view coming up soon? When is that?
Let's see.
Well, they had the bunkhouse.
Commissioner's report.
I know they
The
just had
battle
one,
royal,
yeah.
right? So
And the next one is 501 to Yuma.
Yes. There we go.
that's a sweet battle royal to win $1 million.
Yeah.
Western Trails League proudly presents 501 to Yuma.
Yeah.
Based from the Dog Days 2025 cycle. Western Trails League.
So I
Make
do
the train?
so I do intend to bring 12 wrestlers to the WTL, enter them in the battle royal, and then make them inactive afterwards. That's my plan for next
Yeah,
cycle.
that's why is that a way allowing that to happen? That's what I want to know.
I think he explained it already.
Justice for Darren. He tracks all these wrestlers.
He just drives
Show
them
some
nuts.
love.
Just drives them nuts. No, if I was there, I would just ignore it. Like I would just delete them.
I wouldn't even
I wouldn't
track
track
those
those
guys.
guys
I'd be like,
at all.
yeah, like don't bother.
Yeah, it's not even worth it.
Give them the commissioner death penalty.
So, like you just, for those of you who don't
Waste
know,
my
the commission
time.
death penalty for
Bye.
us is we just pretend you don't exist.
I have a question here. Is the
12
Rusty
inches.
Chains promo? Is what?
12 inches. That's the answer to that question. Rusty Chains
How
is
long-
he's heading over to the WTO,
Okay.
so that's why that's in there.
Rusty Chains.
So that was his farewell promo to the NWO.
Oh, nice.
Which, if you should read the pay-per-view for the NWO pay-per-view, we'll get some more Rusty Chains on that as well. So at that pay-per-view, so not to plug my own stuff, but I think the NWO pay-per-view will I think it's going to be the start of what many may consider Angle of the Year for the awards for next year. So a lot of cool stuff going on in that pay-per-view. Toot.
Yeah.
That was my own horn.
All right.
All right, well, I got to get going, guys.
Well, have a good
All
night.
right, man.
Have a good night.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Sounds
All right.
good. All right, Matt, you want to take care of IWAR Wide? We got everyone, right?
I got the BBL to do
Son
first.
of a gun.
So that's all right. I'll do it.
That's all right.
So,
So
core
mad.
number 570 in the Bloodbath League. Your league champion, retaining and winning 10 free BBL matches, the Russian Reaper. Your TV champion, Duff Dugan. Central Plains champion, Psycho Bolt. East Coast champion, Tyrant Pharaoh. Great Lakes champion, Vengeance. Middle East champion, Sultan Bloodspill. Northeast champion, Skullfire. Pacific Northwest champion, Dominant Factor War. Rocky Mountain champion, Alpha Male XD. Timely. Southeast champion, TJ Maximum. Southwest champion, Chuck Moxley. West Coast champion, Tomax Firefly. Your tag team champions, Dominant Factors, Rage and Fury. Your TV tag champions, The Patriot and Alpha Male XD. League 6-man champions, Rage, Dirty South, Dick Harrell, and Phantom Scorpion. And TV 6-man
Phantom
champions,
Scorpion,
Chili-
really?
Yes. Chili Orlando, Tuckosaurus Rex, and the Guacamole Kid. And your Battle Royal winner winning 26 free matches, Alpha Male XD. And we'll check and see the message I got from Rob earlier. Where is it? Oh, wrong window. Rob said, let's see here. He's going to have a bloody beach brawl score this cycle. Computer crash BBL. Everyone's been seeded in the tournament. Let's see here. Anyone who was active in TT advanced. A manager who let me know he would miss TT. Would been active has been advanced also. TV Doom title champion also has 10 free matches every cycle they have the champion. 5 to 10 champion will be crowned this cycle. He was marveling that we get the show off the ground so fast, the Tubecast. But yeah, BBL is getting bigger. Good time to join. Lots going on, and yeah, I'm trying to get better with my scores. Like, I don't think I've had a title yet in ACW.
You and me both, buddy.
Yeah.
And by
Yeah.
489, I got this cycle. It's not going to cut it.
The important thing is, I know that Heeman Hoban and the Americanos were victorious. So, Arriba, as the kids say.
How many managers are in all IWAR leagues right now? Well, at least one wrestler in every league.
I have a little chart here.
Not counting NWL.
I think players wise, I think if I did this right, there's hard to tell. I would say, man, there's 20 in the BRL, 20. Well, I mean, it's hard to say. Some people play in multiple leagues, but if I had to say like how many actual managers, I would say about 60 or 70, maybe more. Hard to say. I mean, like the raw manager per league is roughly about 60, about 120, but there's some overlap there. But we have a number of players who play in like in the BRL. I think I have 9 guys who only play in the BRL. So that's a good core. In the IWL, there's about 6 players who only play in the IWL. CWL has about 4 or 5 players who only play in the so that helps. Yeah. So that's BBL. So IWAR wide. Jumping over, we had this cycle was the results from the IWAR Super Show. So we had a fun show, and it's in the IWAR magazine. There's 4 pages of action. But to give you, I started off, I don't know if you noticed or not, I started off with the charity softball game. And of course, had some highlights.
Was Sid? No, he died. I was asking if Sid was there.
What?
I was asking if Sid was at the softball game.
Yeah.
But he's dead.
Yeah.
He was there in spirit.
Yeah. We had the Barracuda Keys in a pole match. The All-Star Battle Royal with only 1 typo. Whoopsie. That matters now, anyways. We had the Battle of the Heartthrobs in the end of the Battle Royal. So check it out. The Rebels Championship match with Punk Rock Mike defending against Agent 26. We had the BBW versus BWL Survivor Series. The Texas Trainer Showdown between the Regulators and the Von Schnapps. We had the Hell in the Cell Warfare between Luther Alexander, Scapegoat, and the Mystery Challenger ended up being Barry USA Stevens.
Son of a bitch.
We had Texas Death. We had a bonus match, Texas Death from Cactus Jack versus Senior Lucha. And despite a serious knee injury, Senior Lucha ended up winning when he hit the $1 million peso knee strike right into Jack's head with he knocked the chair into his face. Oops. The total victory 2 or 3 falls match between Logan Kane and the Chameleon was a fun time. And then we rolled into our controversial, timely, immediate title shot ladder match, the Great TITS match. And I don't want to give away the finish, but if you read it, you'll have a fun time reading. There's, of course, Hoban came out to reward the winner and make a selection of who would be his valet the next year. And then finally, the show's main event, the IWAR World Championship. Phil Landers faced Takawandashe Bumbaye in a thriller. And of course, that's done. we have some events to talk about. So event-wise, Clash Champion 19 rolled on, and we have, of course, I'm doing now is instead of dropping the lower half of the scores, there's only 7 people competing. Each cycle, the lowest score of the group will drop out. So this time was Kamikaze, which is appropriate because anyways, he's challenging for the championship belt next. Just write that down anyways. But also going on is the All Rookie Cup. And our 4 advancers to the final round are the Great One, Carrie Garrett, La Chilarodrina, G-Force Gary Morris, and Great Entertainer Brian Clothier. And I will make a little suggestion here. I've noticed that Gary Morris and Brian Clothier always have the same score each cycle. I would make a move and maybe have one hole different at least. The one has a better score because that's going to give me a real headache if I try to do a tiebreaker when guys have the same exact scores.
You think they're running exactly the same strats?
Could be.
Or you think they're just
doing
changing
well.
the orders?
Maybe. I would definitely use one. Do a different order. If you use the same values,
Because it's that's two different players.
Yeah, right. But like use a different order so that way battle royal wise you might have a better shot at winning if one doesn't. The Summer Series number 8 is in the second round, and the top half of the score is by average advance. So Bud Mud, Trucker Band Leader, El Grandioso, Ghostly Shadows, Dekawandashe Boombaye, Boink the Child Entertainer, Agent 26, Kamikaze, Senior Lucha, American Destroyer, Doug's Big Blind Brother Craig, The Edge Johnny Walker, Double D Christoph, Greggy Money, Texas Jesse Tombstone, and Flashy Jack Ferdinand advanced to round 3.
Is it too late to join the Summer Series?
Yes, it is, Andy. The 5th King of the Ring rolls on, and I won't read all the advancers, but the way I've set it up is basically once you have the lower half of the scores, you're eliminated, and I have a little black bar. So if you see black, your guy's eliminated. The Elite Trios Tournament, your semifinalists, and a huge upset, New Money Incorporated defeated the Von Schnaps. There will be no Von Schnaps regulators match in the semifinal.
We've seen that already.
The Crockett Cup upset here. The regulators defeated PPA from the BBL. The Notorious Jesus, Super Micamus, and La Chiladrina were downed by the Alpha males, who will face Michigan Border Patrol, who defeated the Mannequins via tiebreaker. Both at 520, so tough luck. The Lethal Lottery I won't go into because Scott just sent me the scores and I haven't looked at them yet. Do you want me to go over the score, Scott, or you want to do them?
I can do them.
All right, I haven't done them yet, so go ahead.
Well, we've got something else to talk about. Go ahead, because I sent you the email, but I didn't send it to myself.
Okay. Other stuff going on. I want to talk about one special thing for a second here, and that is, of course, the Tim Clark Memorial Tag Team Tournament, which starts in the Action Packed League very soon. Remember, there's free wrestler creation or transfer into the league, so you can create a team in there if you want to take part. There'll be free matches to the winners and to other people that also go far in the tournament. So there's a lot of good things that go around. You also in the APL Trash Talkers 3 free matches each cycle if they submit trash talk. So it's a good way to supplement your matches if you're going in there. I would say it's a good way to remember a very important player in the game. And a guy that meant a lot to us, and we were good friends with him, and he helped make the game better. So Tom is promoting this tournament in the APL Action Pack League, which I believe I'm gonna double check this to be sure. APL is in the diamond. So if you're playing in gold, it'd be the cycle right after. It'd be the round right after gold. So it's a nice little, same week of activity if you're more like me and like try to book all your activity around the deadlines. So yeah, Scott, you good?
It's loading. All right. Are you done?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we had my very first pick was No Miss G. Unner, and his partner was Blackjack Robinson. They took on Swamp Sock Jr. and American Destroyer, and Hillbilly Kevin and Night Court. Your winner came up to be G. Unner and Blackjack Robertson with a 994. Kevin and Court had a 990, and Sock and Destroyer had a 978. So G. Unner and Robertson will move on to the next round. Brian Clothier and Squeakums the Clown beat Razor Blade Madman and Joe Tusa 980 to 906. Unfortunately, Razor Blade Madman obviously had a tag team record, and it was a 417, so that didn't help at all.
Oof.
Next, Brian Clothier and Squeakums the Clown will move on to take on G. Unner and Blackjack Robertson, excuse me. Lane Shaddix and Lanny T had a 984, but it wasn't enough to beat U.S. Mel and Agent 26 with a 986. Trucker Van Leer was given the selection of Borg Genesis against Chauncey Reynolds and WTL's Balls Buckshot. I can't talk. Trucker Van Leer and Borg Genesis came up with a 990 to 981 win, so they will be taking on U.S. Mail and Agent 26 in the next round. Section B. Oops. Too fast there. There we go. The Bad Man and Starlight took on Sam Hill and the Russian Reaper. And Sam Hill and Russian Reaper eked it out 992 to 990. Your personal favorite, Big Bad Bob and Randy the Ram took on Supa Mickamus and Notorious Jesus. And Bob and Randy defeated them 986 to 981. One of my personal favorites out of all of this, Playboy Mick Ferrari and Big Guns Greg Garner took on FedEx Bobby Brutal and Hocus Crocus, and just pulled it out. It was a quick 3 count from Ferrari over Crocus from 979 to 978. Our next 3-way dance had Picasso and Uncle Ivan take on A.O. Bloodthorn and Algor Blackstar. 2 different leagues, but I thought, hey, what a good team that came out to be. And they took on the third team of Dixon, Ticonderoga, and Sultan Bloodspill.
Uh-oh.
So what happened here is Picasso and Uncle Ivan, Dixon, Ticonderoga, and Sultan Bloodspill both had 990s. They crossed each other out, and the upset of Bloodthorn and Blackstar will move on with a 987.
Damn.
So that's what happens when you're in a 3-way dance and you think you might lose, you might just win.
Controversy.
So Bloodthorn and Blackstar will be taking on Mick Ferrari and Greg Garner in the next round. Section B is pretty well set up. I like that a lot. The next 3-way dance, we had Sam Hain and Genichiro Teriyaki take on Ichi Kagawaranana.
Say what now?
And Wayman Miller. And then the Graveyard Dog was selected, and his partner was Flashy Jack Ferdinand. And by the slimmest of margins, Graveyard Dog and Jack Ferdinand with a 985 beat Sam Hain and Teriyaki by 1 with the 984. Ichikawa Hanawahaha and Wayman Miller had a 958.
That teriyaki left you with an upset stomach, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So we had President Reagan and Eagle Eye Marksman taking on Hillbilly Steve and Dominant Factor Fury. The Hillbilly and the Dominant Factor eked it out as well with a 991 over Reagan and Smin with a 990. Cactus Jack and Dark Danger taking on the team of Greg E. Money and Russian Destroyer number 1. All these were pretty close matches. They were either close or they weren't close at all. And Cactus Jack and Dark Danger won with a 987 to a 985. Hardcore Barbed Wire Maniac and Mike Rampage Sanders took on Jackknife Justice and one of my personal favorites, Timmy 2 Cents. And once again, the Hardcore Barbed Wire Maniac also had must have been his tag team partner, because he had a 440 and it cost him, as Jackknife Justice and Timmy 2 Cents won 984 to 936.
There it is.
And in the final round, Fastball, Louis Ratcliffe, and a Maltese Monster taking on, well, what do you know? VRL's Punk Rock Mike and Scapegoat. And Punk Rock Mike and Scapegoat took the win 987 to 974. So Punk Rock Mike keeps on going. Mark the Fan Botch and B.A. Fox took on G-Force Gary Morris and Michael Martin Jr. Morris and Martin took it out the 989 to 983. Arch Hill and Ray Del Mundo went up against Double D Christoph and Bud Mudd. And Christoph and Mudd eked it out as well, 992 to 991.
Nice.
And in your final match, the last three-way dance, Senor Lucha was selected with Big Von Vader taking on King Khan and his partner Legend Buzz Prescott and Uncle Randy and President Nixon. The bottom of the three was Lucha and Vader with a 985. And your winners, King Khan and Legend Buzz Prescott with a 992 over Uncle Randy and President Nixon with a 986.
Boo.
And that's your first round.
There it is. There it is. All right, guys. You got anything else like to share?
That's it, I think, for me. I mean, it was a tough cycle, but we'll bounce back hopefully and have a fun one and grab some gold and not forget to sign matches.
Sign matches. Tell the IWA that you changed names. Do not double hold.
Yes.
Maybe get better than a 49.
Yes.
Oh, I recently just bought a My Pet Monster on the internet. So hopefully I'll get that pretty soon in the mail. Very excited.
All right.
All right, guys.
So this is the most. I was just going to say this is the most work I've done in quite a while. So
there it is.
All right.
Hopefully I'm getting right back into the mix of
right
things.
in the swing.
Cool.
All right, so for Matt, for Scott, for Ryan, I'm Alex G. Have a good night.